Hello, I'm Clare Balding, and I'm delighted to say that today we get the chance to delve into the brilliant brain of James Graham, who is the man behind Dear England. And before, James, thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Before we chat about the play and the creative process, just a few numbers. This is an Olivier Award-winning play that has been seen by over 300,000 people in the West End, at the National Theatre as well. And now it is embarking on a nationwide tour. It's going to 16 different venues, which means it's definitely coming to a theatre near you. Why should people go and see Dear England?
I find it such a moving story of the way that Gareth Southgate took this team at its lowest ebb and has just completely rejuvenated and revitalised both the team in its mindset, its culture, its sense of belief, and restored lots of people's love for their national sport and their national team. I think it's an extraordinary story.
It's a really interesting thing, though, I think, that you've achieved, because having seen the play, I don't think you have to be a football fan to enjoy it.
Yeah.
I think it helps. There are things you recognise, and, you know, Jordan Pickford, for example, and his aggressive approach in goal, all of those things. There are things that will make you laugh more if you understand football, but you don't have to, because actually it's a story about psychology as much as anything.
I totally agree. And what's been really moving and really brilliant, actually, is seeing different crowds come in. So traditional theatre goers who may not completely love or feel comfortable going to see a play about sport, coming in and really falling in love with it. But then we've had sort of tens of thousands of people who've never seen a play before, but really love football, coming in and then trusting that they're going to have a nice night at the theatre. And that mix was always really, really important to me. I didn't grow up with theatre in my life. I fell in love with it at school. I feel so lucky that I found it. And I think there's something about this play and what it represents and what it's about does seem to attract that wide range of audience. It's a big family show. Parents bringing their kids, or husbands and wives and colleagues and friends. And I don't say that sort of boastfully. I attribute that entirely to the ethos and the values of Gareth Southgate, because I think there's just something about his kind of approach to sport, elite competitive sport, where you want to win, you want to do well. But it was so kind, compassionate, decent and inclusive that for some reason that Gareth Southgate-ism, I think, has crept into the DNA of the play, and it's a really warm, comfortable, joyful night at the theatre.
I think there's also within it an awful lot of comedy. There's some great lines, and there's some great physical comedy too.
Yeah, the England players, these are extraordinary characters. When you think of Harry Kane and Jordan Pickford, they're very, very clever, but there's something about their attitude and their outlook on life, which generates a huge amount of comedy. To hear audiences of that size laughing that much and applauding as much as they do, even, dare I say it, getting on their feet at the very end of the show, and I think sometimes even breaking into a bit of a song and dance with Sweet Caroline at the end. It really matters to me that theatre feels really popular and fun and not like a tough slog. So it's the perfect story for that.
Exactly, and that's what I would say for anyone that, you know, isn't a regular theatre goer. It is so uplifting because of that shared experience and the joyfulness with which everyone comes out, I think. Yeah,
it's a roller coaster, and I get very emotional watching it still and thinking about it, but it's a story with a happy ending, just not the one that you think. It doesn't involve a trophy, but it does involve something, I would say, much greater.
Exactly, and Gareth would say too.
Sure.
Football is a sport that obviously touches every single region of our country. Is that why it really matters that this is going on tour, the play?
Yeah, I think that's a really good way of putting it. It's so important that this play doesn't stay in London. That's an obvious thing to say, but I fell in love with theatre outside of the capital. My local theatre, the Nottingham Theatre Royal, which we're going to. It's where I saw all my West End shows and musicals and plays. England belongs to everybody. And actually what's amazing about Gareth Southgate's team that he assembled, it felt more representative of the country than ever before. And that includes regionality. When you think of the North East and Jordan Pickford or Jordan Henderson, you got Harry Maguire from Yorkshire, you got Phil Foden from Stockport. It does feel like even just having all those accents on stage and and all the club names that come up when the players arrive, it feels like a national play, and it should be on the road. And touring is really important. And this is a big show, so I'm so grateful to the National that they're taking it out on the road, because it does feel like everyone should see it.